numerology today, and I want to show you how to begin to start calculating some other numbers using the letters of your name. Now, it's very, very important that to begin with you have your full name spelled correctly as it appears on your birth certificate, okay? When we grow up and get married and start changing our names, it can change the number energy a little bit, but what you really need to focus on is the name that you were given at birth, okay? Very, very important. You can look at name changes down the road to see how that adds to or takes away from energy. Sometimes it's not a good thing to change your name, so keep that in mind. So to begin with, I just want to give you some background on how we apply numbers to letters, okay? So in numerology, everything is 1 through 9, okay? 1 through 9 is beginning and end. It is the alpha and the omega. If you look at the alphabet in a linear sense, then there's a huge separation between the beginning and the end. But if you take the alphabet and you wrap it around and you make a circle out of it, the beginning becomes the end. They touch. And so everywhere you have an ending, you also have a new beginning, okay? So with the alphabet, I have it all listed here for you. Try to make it easier, and I hope you can see this. So I've written out the entire alphabet, okay? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, and under that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And for J, we come down here. J is 10, but what is 10 really? 10 is a 1. So we're going to start over. So for J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, we have, again, 1 through 9, and S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. We're going to end with the Z as a number 8, okay? So, again, keep in mind that even though, like, the A and the J are both 1s and the 1 energy, there's still that underlying 10 with the J, okay? So people ask me about, well, what's 0? 0 is the karmic egg. 0 represents creativity. It is the source of all things, all numbers. 0, okay? So with the A, you have a basic 1 energy. With the J, you're adding some karma or that creative egg to it, okay? And with the S, S is really the 19, and I've talked to you about karmic numbers. S has some karmic tie, so it is the 19, 10, 1. So keep that in mind, okay? It's not really necessary with our basic calculations until you start looking at like the first letter of your name or the entire energy of your middle name, things like that. So for right now, let's just forget about master and karmic numbers when we're talking about the alphabet and what letters to assign to them, and just know that starting with J in the alphabet, you're starting over at 1, okay? And with R, you are ending, with R, you are ending again with a 9, okay? And same with S through Z. So get a feel for this, write it out for yourself, put the numbers underneath, and start picking out the letters of your name. And I might even start today with the intensity table. The intensity table is basically a summary of all the numbers in your name, okay? And I think I want to do this before I get into calculating your soul urge, your destiny, your maturity number, all the other numbers that come from your name. So let's just start there. And I'm going to use my name as an example. You're going to get to know a lot about me. So I'm going to put down my full name, and if you want to follow along, get out a piece of paper and do this for yourself. Like I said, write down the alphabet, like I showed you with the numbers underneath, and start picking out your own numbers and letters, okay, as I do this. So my first name is Sonja. Denise is my middle name. And I'm going to go ahead and come down here because I'm running out of room, but I still want you to be able to see this. My last name is Bettinger. Okay, so for right now, I have a different system when I'm looking at soul urge or other numbers, but for right now, I'm just going to, underneath each letter, write down its number equivalent. So the S is a 1, the O is a 6, the N is a 5, J is a 1, A is a 1, the D is a 4, E is a 5, N is a 5, I is a 9, S is a 1, E is a 5, B is a 2, E is a 5, D is a 4, I is a 9, N is a 5, G is a 7, E is a 5, and R is a 9. Okay, so this is how you're going to start for yourself to put together your intensity table, okay? And then what I want to do is I'm going to list 1 through 9, and I'm going to go through and I'm going to count how many 1s, how many 2s, how many 3s, etc. I have in my name, okay? So we'll go over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And I'm just going to count. 1, 2, 3, 4 1s, okay? 4 1s. I have 1, 2. I have 0 3s. I have 1, 2 4s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 5s. That's a lot. 6s. 1, 1 6. 7s. 1 7. 8s. 0 8s. And 9s. 1, 2, 3 9s. Okay, so what does all this mean? Okay. If you haven't gone through my series of videos, it's really important that you at least at a minimum watch the video that I made about the basic number energy, because that's really going to help you out here. Otherwise you might be a little bit lost. So with the 1 energy, 1 is your drive. 1 is who you are. 1 is your ego. 1 is yourself. And so it's really important to have 1s in your intensity table. And with all of these numbers, there's a good average of how much energy in each one of these you should have in your intensity table. And anytime you have a missing number, it is a challenge for you or something that you're here to experience or do in life. Okay. So, and also with the missing numbers, if one of these numbers shows up in your life path, in your soul urge, in your personality, destiny, or maturity number, it kind of offsets this a little bit. Okay, so it's called a modified missing number basically, and it takes a little bit of the karma out of the picture. So with the 1 energy, a really good average for people to have is 3 1s in their intensity table. Okay, that's going to give you a good amount of self-esteem and a good amount of drive to go out and do. People with too few 1s in their intensity table have a tendency to have a lower self-esteem or a lack of confidence in being able to achieve the things that they want to achieve. People on the other end of that spectrum who have more than 3 ones in their intensities table start to get more towards egoistic, selfishness, because it becomes all about self. Me, 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 me. Okay? So I'm sitting here at 4 ones, and it gives me a good amount of self-esteem to do what I want to do in life. I don't feel challenged by life for the most part. I mean, I've had my challenges, trust me. I'm an 11-2 life path. I constantly come into contact with challenge, but I don't have trouble jumping hurdles, okay? I'm a problem solver. I use that self-confidence to solve problems, all right? So 3 ones in an intensity table is a good average. Going above that, you can fall into the realms of selfishness. Below that, into the realm of a lower self-esteem. Okay, with the 2 energy, you should have at least 1, okay? Because 2, like I mentioned in my first video, 2 is about relationship with people, okay? And you need that. We all have to work with other people in the world, whether you're a 7 who likes to be alone or you're a 1 who's out there to go, go, go. We have to be able to work with people. So at least 1, 2 in your intensity table, okay? Beyond that, you're kind of getting into someone who dislikes conflict so much that they're afraid to stand up for themselves, okay? So, and you know the type, they become doormats, really. So you've got to be able to stand up for yourself, still get along with people. It's okay to have 2. That just makes you more of, like I mentioned, a team player, or quite literally you could find someone with a lot of 2 energy as a mediator in the courts, someone who solves problems for other people, okay? And then the 3 is our creativity. This is where you find your artists, your musicians. This is joy of life. I have no 3s, okay? What does that mean? That means it is something I'm here to experience. So rather than this being like a disability per se, it makes me more creative. It makes creativity part of my life. I'm an artist, okay? So when the number's missing, it's really part of your life path. It's part of what you're here to experience. Karma, you're supposed to resolve. So I'm here to use my creativity. And I have no other 3s in any of my other numbers, okay? So this is really rings true for me. I am an artist, okay? So my father didn't have any 1s. So he was really here to develop his leadership skills. And he had a life path of an 8. And that's exactly what he was. He was a leader in the financial world, okay? So I hope you're kind of getting an idea of what this intensity table is all about. 4s. 4s are your ability to go out there and work and do, okay? Get the job done. At least 1 in your chart. 2, good. 3 might make you kind of a workaholic without, you know, sometimes it's not about the amount of work you do. It's how much you get paid for what you do, all right? And that's kind of where the 4 and the 8 are different, because the 8 realizes this. The 8 realizes that it's not about how many hours you spend, it's about how many dollars you get paid for the hours that you spend. So sometimes it's about maximizing profit, okay? And too much 4 energy, you kind of lose that. And it just becomes work, 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 and not necessarily about the time value there, okay? So at least 1. 2, I'm a bit of a workaholic, but I have 8 energy in my other numbers. So I do get it. I do get that it's about creating the most value for your time, okay? And the 5 energy, 5s are our wings. 5s give us flight, okay? A good average for the 5 is 5 5s. The E, the N are both 5s, and you're going to find a lot of that letter in people's names. So you should have at least 5. That's going to give you that drive, you know, that ability to go out the door and go and do. So when you have too few 5s, even if you had 3 1s, 4 1s, you know who you are, you have the idea. If you don't have enough 5 energy, it's really hard to get out there and go do it. So 5s become very, very important. Now, on the other end of that, too much 5 energy, I have a lot of 5 energy, okay? My birthday, my birth month, 7 5s in my intensity table. What that creates is scattered energy. So I really have to focus on limiting what I do because I have a lot of ideas, I have a lot of drive, but I send myself into 15,000 different directions. So I have to really concentrate on focusing my time and energy on what's going to be of most value, or, you know, the best use of my time. And I think we try to teach little kids this all the time, you know. It's good to spend a little bit of time getting all areas of your life in order every day, instead of just doing one thing or doing too many things in a day. All right. And the number 6 should have at least 1. The 6 energy is home and family. This means that you have a good concept of family relationships. You're going to be okay in a home setting. So, you know, I could be a stay-at-home mom as long as I could do this. As long as I could still be out there in the world somehow, some way, I could be a stay-at-home mom. Most definitely. I love kids. I love dogs. I love animals of all sorts. So I have that energy, okay? And what is a missing 6? Missing 6 could mean that that's one of the things you're here to do. You are here to learn and develop within the home with children, spouses, okay? Learning how to organize a home. Too much 6 energy. In my other video, I talked about how the 6 energy can be about regimentation and control. Too much 6 energy can make you a control freak. If something does not fit your box, you'll have none of it, okay? My dad had a little bit too much 6 energy, so it was Saturdays were for cleaning, Sundays were for church, Monday through Friday was for work. You know, he really had to have these things in control or he felt out of control, okay? And the 7 energy. The 7 is the most missing number in numerology. You'll find missing 7s a lot. Why? Because we are spiritual creatures. We are here to evolve. We're here to find our spirituality. So it is the most missing number. I have 1, 7. So what does that mean? That means that as an 11-2 life path, and you must understand that numerology is based on the theory that we live past lives, okay? And if you don't believe in that, then you have to believe that in order for numerology to apply to you, that this energy was given to you in childhood in some way, some form. Whether it be your childhood or a past life, it simply means that you have experience. So I've got experience with spirituality. And as an 11-2 master life path, that should ring true. I would think that most all 11 twos would have some 7 energy. I hope that makes sense. And the 8s. I have 0 8s, but I have 2 in my other numbers. Okay, so I have a modified missing 8. Master of the financial world, right? This is also a common missing number. And basically, not everybody is meant to go out there and be at the top of everything, right? We're not all meant to be masters of every area of this. I was blessed. I really was. I literally have, outside of a modified missing 8, only 1 missing number in my name. And it is what I do for a living. And I gave up this to do this. I gave up being a master of the financial world. I spent 25 years in real estate. I have a bachelor's degree in accounting and business administration. I have a head for numbers. I'm very good at it, but it is not my passion in life. It was my father's. While he taught me how to use these skills in this life, and I appreciate it, and I'm grateful for everything that he did teach me, it's just not my path. I'm here to do this. I'm here to share with you my 7 energy, my 11 energy, and my missing 3s. So I express myself and I paint for a living. Now, I have been a counselor, so I'm just a different person. We're all different people, and it's just, I had to give it up because it's not what I'm here to do. But it took, let me tell you, I am 45 years old. It took 40 years to figure that out. So a lot of these lessons in life come late, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. There is always a new chance to start over and get back on track. Okay. 9, the last number in the intensity table. 9s are the humanitarians of the world. I've talked to you about that. 9 energy is all about people, the planet, the animals. It's everything. And I've got a lot of that. Plus, I have a 9 soul urge. Okay, so a lot of 9 energy. So my drive in life, even when I was in the business world, don't get me wrong, when I was in the business world, it was about helping people. You know, it wasn't so much about money, although I did enjoy the benefits of the money, but it was about people. You know, when I sold a house, I worked my, pardon my French, my ass off to get those first-time home buyers into their new home. The people that had never had the pleasure of owning their own home. It was a great joy to me to spend hours and hours and hours trying to get them to qualify for a loan. You know, went out of my way, out of the box to get these things done for people. So that part of my nature has always existed. I was just not on quite the right track. And I have a lot of 9 energy. So you should have 1. If you don't have any, then it just means that you're gonna be kind of on the same path. So it's really similar to have a lot of those numbers versus 0 numbers. It's gonna create the same drive to go out and do this. Just having them means that I've experienced it before. Okay. So that is your intensity table. And I'm gonna show you one more thing with this before I end the video. We're gonna add all these together, okay? And this is gonna tell me what you do to deflate, or what you do when you're upset, or what you do when you're feeling lost, okay? So with mine, 4, 5, 6, 7, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. We've got that karmic number, okay? The 19-1. 19-10-1, all right. So what do I do when I feel lost? I do one of two things. I either fall back into being dependent on somebody else, or I jump forward and I go out and I do and I lead and I take action. So let's say that in your intensity table, you came up with a 7 instead. With a 7 here, that means that in order to recoup or recover, you are going to dive into spiritual study. You're going to want to be alone. And that helps you regain the strength to go back out into the world and do what you do. Let's say that this intensity table adds up to a number 3. That means that to recoup, you're going to listen to music, you're going to play music, you're going to create, you're going to draw, you're going to play with children. Something in that creative realm is how you regroup. Okay? So those are just some examples. Again, if you would like a detailed chart, if you would like some help, need a consultation, please contact me. I would love to help you. Take care and have a great day.